What's up, guys? Welcome to the Higher View Podcast, the podcast dedicated to the creative, the outside thinker, and the believer who is seeking community.
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
I nailed that.
Yeah,
I think I nailed that. And you're probably wondering why my voice changed, because I am not Jonathan. I am Alexus with actually my better half, Jonathan.
Yes, ma'am.
And yep, go ahead.
I'm here today, but I am sick. I've been sick throughout the week, so I am resting. I was debating whether I was going to come on here with Lex and record, but decided just to hop on, show my face, be part of the conversation. But today is like actually a day of recovery. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, still hacking up and blowing out some stuff, but I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Also, I have a cough drop in my mouth and probably put in another one after I'm done with this one. So if you hear rattling, just know it's a cough drop. And I promise it's more for you than it is for me. So I'm not coughing in your ear and making it uncomfortable. So you're welcome.
Yeah, just like at night when you're coughing all night long.
Literally, last night, you were actually aggravated with me because I kept coughing. I couldn't stop coughing. But I can't control it. It was... can't control
There
it.
he goes.
These are different. Like Ricola. You got liquid center. You get to the bottom or you get to the center, and then you put enough pressure on it and just bursts, and it's like menthol and mint. It's like
Really?
Feels so good on my throat.
Might have to try one of those.
I'm really gonna.
I had to try one yesterday because you're like, you have to try this, and I tried it, and I was like, this feels like I'm sick to eat it. Like this is a sick tasting. Like as in like if I'm sick, I need cough drops. Like I'm not gonna eat cough drops like candy. So I was
reading on the package. It's like a throat, whatever, and also like
sorry,
and also like a mouth anesthetic. Is what it said. A mouth anesthetic. I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's a mouth anesthetic. So you can just pop them in and.
Maybe it just helps with the breath.
Some people just like them, I guess. But today, like I said, gonna be resting a little bit, and Lex is gonna take us to Lex's land.
Lex land. Well, in my land, there's a lot of stuff going on in my land.
What's going on in your land?
Just thankful to be here. I'm really thankful to be here. And I realized that I needed to just take a step back and I don't know if everybody here knows about fasting or what, that even looks like or what that is. But sometimes, you could fast for different reasons. Maybe it's just, for your personal self, like if you want to lose weight, like that kind of fasting. I'm not doing that kind of fasting. I'm doing fasting like for a spiritual sense, for my relationship with God. And I know the podcast before this one, I was talking about like closing the gap and wanting to like, just go. Sorry, I'm saying, guys,
Fine.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's just a vocabulary thing to say, but that kind of takes in the middle of our sentences, like and
like
and
but yeah,
but so excited, but. So I'm doing that for a week, and I decided to start fasting at least every single month for like the first week of the month. It doesn't have to be all week, but this week I'm doing everything. Like of course I'm eating, but when it comes to drinking anything like coffee, tea, I'm only doing water. And just for my own personal relationship with God, and also because I realize I've been really focusing so much on the flesh and what my flesh wants, like it's hard to explain, to put into words right now, but you definitely feel different when you do fast, and you feel like kind of walls are being broken down, like you're weakening the flesh. And it was a little difficult today because I like to have coffee in the morning, and me not having coffee, I was like, oh my gosh, like I really want some coffee right now. Yeah. And so it was nice to not focus on that and just focus on God and my relationship with Him.
It's kind of not allowing your body to rely on things. Telling your flesh to shut up, pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah, because you know how caffeine is, and it's, what is it, like a drug kind of? I mean, people get addicted to it, so.
For sure.
It's just the caffeine, like you feel like you need it. And so I I would love to be self-sufficient, like in myself,
Yeah.
like where I don't need coffee throughout the day for, like, I love the taste of coffee. So like, yeah, I'm gonna drink coffee, but to have it because I need some caffeine stimulation, like I would love to get to a place where I can get that for my like mental health and like, all right, let's go. And so I challenged myself a little bit today. I realized like when I was like cleaning, like we're packing up for our new home, we got 29 exactly more days, 29 more days, guys, 29 more days.
29 days, 8.5 and 32 minutes. I'm just
He's still got the jokes, even when he's not feeling good. And I'll tell you what, like whenever you're not feeling good, it hurts my heart. It really does. Like I don't like to see you sick, and so it's nice to just that you're able to be on here with me. And you know, if I was on here by myself, I would obviously have things very planned out and talk to you guys for a certain topic. But since you're on here and just kind of just a check-in podcast and just up to date with our lives, and since we haven't had much planning for this one, it's all right. Like it's just conversations between you and I, and just see where they go. And yeah. I like those, and I like your perspective on things. So
yeah, I was debating if I should even come on here this week. And I mean, we're sitting at Thursday during the week, so our editing time is pretty short.
literally like a day.
Yeah, it's just a day. But I've just been so sick. Like I literally, I could not find the willpower to get up and actually like record. Like I did not want to do anything. Even walking up the stairs, like coming back up to the house, I was getting out of breath. I was like, dude, I need to go lay down. But I don't know. Like today, I feel like I have a lot more energy. I was able to, you know, like you said, we went swimming, did some stuff around the house. I did a full day of work. And yesterday I just stopped at lunch, you know, because I couldn't go anymore. My body was just like, dude, you need to stop. You can't do this anymore. Like, I had to go lay down. I had to just rest, and I rested for a good while. So that was good. But I definitely am. I'm feeling like a little bit more of an uprising in my body. Like I still do feel and sound sick, but I'd feel a little bit better, which I'm glad. And you have been taking care of me. I appreciate you for that.
You're welcome. There's sickness and health. I love. There's sickness and health.
But you're talking about being self-sufficient, and I know we had a conversation about this earlier today. And you know, the thing that gave me this idea, we were just having a conversation, right, about having like you feel like you need things to like keep you energized. You need things to like perk you up, pretty much, to keep you going through your day. But I was mentioning like you have to be self-sufficient. You have to know like what you have inside is just enough. You don't need anything else. Like what you have centralized within you, like including your relationship with God, like also obviously like that's gonna be included. But what you already have like inside of your body, the way that God created you, like you have enough already. And that's comparable to like businesses, and not to compare like us or you to like a business or something that's physical like that. But businesses get more successful when they can be self-sufficient, like when they can be their own manufacturers, when they can make their own product and they don't have to go somewhere else to get their own products because they're spending more money, which is in turn hurting them as a business because they have to spend money in other places besides going to be self-sufficient and allowing themselves to be internal and just supply themselves on what they need. So I thought about it in that way when we were talking about it earlier, but I think that's a pretty good way to look at it. Like be self-sufficient in a way where you don't have to go out and get anything. You don't have to go out and eat or drink anything to get you anywhere or get you to a certain level. Like you already got it.
I really like that.
With the cherry on top.
With the cherry on top. Delicious. Very nice. Very tasty. But yeah, I agree with that. And that really helped my perspective so much. Like during this fast, I'm like, you're right. Like I don't want to need and want things all around me. I think we can get in the habit of wanting things so much and needing things and and what can I get next? What can I get next? And if you think about it, it's kind of how, like, if you get addicted to something, like a drug or something, which is really sad for people to get into that. And I would just pray that those people could get help for sure. But that it's kind of the same thing. Like, you get in that rhythm of like,
Yeah.
oh, like, I need that. I need this. Like, oh, I'm not satisfied right now. I'm not satisfied what's going on right now. Like, I need something to pump me up. And that's where it's like when you fast, it's you're weakening your flesh, and then you're going toward, and you're just keeping that alignment with God, and that God's all that I need. Like, he gave me breath today. He gave me breath in my lungs today. I started to like focus on my senses. I know I talked about that before, but I recently saw a girl getting her hair done next to my salon suite. Somebody else was doing her hair, and she was in a wheelchair. She was like my age, and I literally just, it kind of hit me in the face a little bit. I was just like, wow, like, just having to be in the wheelchair like that, and like, how blessed am I right now to be able to walk and use my legs. And there's just so many things to be grateful for. You don't have, and great being, having a heart of gratitude, there's so much freedom in that. The moment you start to feel down and sad and in your head so much, or it just feels chaos and you're thinking, it's like, okay, let me slow down and let me just think about, what am I grateful for in the first place? Grateful.
Honestly, that's kind of. Hold on.
You're good.
Grabbing a cough drop.
Grab your cough drop.
Sorry.
You're good, babe.
I feel like I've been trapped in this room forever.
I
Been
know.
working in this room, and right when I got done with work, I just start recording. What was I saying? Oh, but really, what it boils down to, I'm sorry, even the concept of being self-sufficient, I think what it boils down to is really just having gratitude for life. Because if you are grateful, gratefulness brings contentness, really. Because if you're grateful for what you have, then you have enough. If you're content with what you have, then you're grateful. So if you're grateful, then you have contentness. And being self-sufficient is having everything that you need already without having anything. So same thing with being grateful and being, what did I just say?
Mike, can you say it again?
Content. Being content and grateful. It works the same way. Like these things are all connected. It's like they all tie together. Being grateful, content, and self-sufficient. When you are grateful in life, when you have an aspect of being grateful towards things that you have, your life, your clothes, the place that you live, you don't need anything else. You don't think about the next thing that you need to add on top of everything else that you already have. You don't think about the next thing that you need to buy because you're already grateful for what you have. If we were to stay and live in a position of gratefulness and just knowing, like, what humbles me a lot is just knowing, and honestly, like, seeing videos or even reading about like other countries, how they don't really have much. And even our friend Toby, he grew up in, I think it was Nigeria, and they didn't have like hot running water. They didn't have electricity. They had electricity for like an hour. And when they had electricity, they were like running to the electricity walls to charge their phones. And
Didn't y'all make a podcast?
we did. We recorded one, but I deleted it. We're going to record it again, but
Okay.
I definitely want his story on here. But just hearing stuff like that, it gives me like that perspective that we have it so much better than other people. We have it so much better than we think. So for me to be ungrateful and needing more, like, I need some more coffee. I need some more,
Okay, but
whatever. Like,
so today, I'm really glad we're thinking about this, but today I was putting away like the pans and the pan lids. I'm like, what am I thinking about right now? The pan lids. I was putting this away, and we don't have an organizer for them. We just put them in there. I mean, of course, I have it on one shelf, but I don't have like where it looks neat and stuff. And there's things like I want it to look neat. And then now us moving into our new home, I'm thinking about like, oh, new things for our new home. And where is it the level being okay for that? Because we're gonna want that, especially as the wife, as the nest person. Like, I like to decorate, I like to keep up with our nest, our nurture our homes. As a person that is wired to do that, where is the healthy balance to still want to make sure that our pans look organized and get an organizer for that? Of course, I'm not going to go right away and say, oh, I need this right now. But I'm going to note that and say that's something I want to get.
I think something I had to learn, and I'm still very much learning in this thing called life. There's a distinction of being like grateful and living in poverty, because I think you can be so grateful and so aware that you have so much that you're just like, why would I buy that? I don't need it. But there is things like a pan organizer or a lid organizer. Like, we're blessed enough to go buy that. You know, like we have the convenience. We live in a country that gives us the convenience to go buy stuff like that. Do we need it? No. But if it's something that, you know, maybe like we can, like you said, note, and we don't have to buy it immediately, but it can be on the list of things that we need to buy. And it's not like we need to stay away from buying things because we already have too much. We're blessed. You know, we live in a blessed country. Like, we can acknowledge that. And I've had to come to that realization, like, I can't neglect the way I live because of other people's circumstances and how they live. You know, God has put me in a different place than other people. So thank you, first of all, God, for doing that and giving that to me. But
you don't have to feel bad.
I don't have to feel bad. I don't have to live in a mindset of poverty. I don't have to live in a mindset of we probably shouldn't be buying that. You know, like, we don't need that. You know, I don't have to live like that. I think it's just I don't know. I wouldn't know where to pinpoint that of saying like look this way and look this way, because you can easily be looking at the way of being on a poverty mindset. But then if you look at the other way, like, oh, we live a blessed life, then you can look too much in that direction. So it's just like a personal balance. I feel like something that everybody has to figure out on their own, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you balance that very well.
I'm trying to. I used to be, I still feel like I can be a little more like, we don't need to be buying anything. And it's more because, like, I'm a saver. Like, I love to save money and you love to spend money, which is usually how it goes in relationships. But it's fine. Like, we balance each other out, and you help me balance it out, like, more than you know. Like, that's why you think it's just me balancing it out on my own, but it's because of you.
How so?
It's because you're adventurous and you like to try new things and you like new products. If I see like a good idea, I'm like, oh, you know, that would actually save a lot of time. Let's get it. But however, like, on the other side, like, if I were to like be on my phone looking up and there's like an ad for a product that comes up, I'm never gonna buy that, ever. Not on my own.
You're not gonna be like, oh, this is really cool, let me just buy this.
Never would happen.
Well, I love how this conversation just fell into place like that. And that's usually how our conversations go, even outside of the podcast, the studio room. And we'll have conversations. We're like, ooh, podcast idea. Okay. And that's usually how we come up with our ideas and stuff. But so I really like that that this is falling into place with the gratitude, contentment, and stop it. And self-sufficient. Gratitude, contentment, and self-sufficient. And how it's all in the same category. It all falls in the same place. And whenever you said we don't have to feel bad because of how our life is compared to other people's lives out there, I've definitely felt that before. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for even wanting to want something like that. Or I feel bad to even like look at our life. Like, I don't know if you guys know who Judah Smith is, but you know who Judah Smith is.
An amazing speaker.
Yeah. Oh,
probably one of my favorite speakers ever, over Erwin.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite. Just because he's like
more than Erwin.
Yeah, more than Erwin. Like, I connect with Erwin a lot more, but I feel like I would be best friends with Judah because he's so emotional, and it's like the exact opposite of me. So like, that saying opposites attract, like it really does affect me. People that are high on emotion, like Anthony, like I just get along with people like that because they can express themselves in a way that I just really am not like. So I like to be around that. I like to be around the opposite of me.
Yeah, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
You want that. And that's why you're in my life.
Exactly.
The opposite is me.
You're extremely high in emotion.
Yes. But he was talking about how he like felt bad. I don't want to quote, these are exactly the same exact words that he was saying, but it's just very brief because it was a long time ago I heard this. But he was saying like he felt bad, for eating out or something with his family or something like that. He just felt bad, like, oh my gosh, like look at those people over there and the kind of life that they live. And he said, he stopped himself and he's like, no, like God, it's exactly what you were saying. Like God gave us this life, and there's no reason why I should feel bad for the life that God gave us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I shouldn't feel bad for wanting to take my family out to vacation, and because we can. There's no reason I should feel bad for that.
Yeah.
But we can go out and we can help those people that are in need because we have the ability to, whatever that looks like. And just because if you don't go out and feed the homeless, don't feel bad. Like I think there'll be opportunities to come, or if it might come on your heart to go somewhere and serve or to help people in need. But the goal is definitely not poverty. God, I don't believe God is a God of poverty.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's a God of abundance, blessings, and favor, and he wants us to succeed and win on this earth, and only because it builds his kingdom up more. It builds the body of Christ more. It just builds everything more when you do have money. And so poverty is just not it, but we have to work towards those things. God's not going to be like just like if think about it as a parent, like if I was a mom, I'm not going to hand everything to my child. Like, yes, I'm going to bless them. Of course, like if I feel like I'm going to bless you with your first car, that's great. I personally had to work towards it, but my dad did put some money towards it as well, but I worked towards it. Like I was able to pay a good amount, and then he paid whatever, I think it was like $2,000, and then he did $2,000 or something like that. I don't remember exactly the same amount, but he matched what I made. So I like that concept because you're having your child work for what they want, and then you can help them on the other side because they put the work into it. And so I feel like it's the same situation with God. Like there would be times in our lives where he would just boom, like I'm just going to give this to you because he knew that we needed that more than we knew that we needed it. But when it comes to our debt and stuff, like I do believe God could help take care of our debt. I know he could if he wanted to. He could just send a mail in the check. I've heard many, many testimonies and stories about that.
Absolutely.
But I don't think he's going to just like, okay, I'm going to do it right now. Like he knows what we need. He might not think we need that. He might think like, I want to teach you guys something through this. I want you guys, to work towards it and learn how to manage it, things like that. So it's pretty cool. I like that.
I think being self-sufficient, it can go into other areas as well. And not just, what would you call it? More of like an emotional side, self-sufficient, or a physical side, self-sufficient. It can also be like, what is the word? Financially self-sufficient. Oops.
Who the heck is calling us at this time of the night?
Spam call. Financially self-sufficient. Meaning like as of right now, we're sufficient on our checks right now. Like, well, for me at least, because I have a W-2 job, like I'm sufficient on my income. So like if this job goes out of business, then I don't get no income. So being self-sufficient with your own income, like you building your salon business, that you're becoming internal. Like you're creating your own funds from inside. You don't have to rely on another person to bring in food on the table, bring in money to feed everybody. So like you were saying, like if we were to have more money, we'd be able to go out and help these people. Like Judah Smith was saying, like he kind of had that realization, like we can go out and we can go enjoy ourselves just because we can. God has blessed us with that. But we can also go out and help these people. I think being self-sufficient is allowing more good people to have money. And I stand so strongly on that. I think there's so many more people that need to have money these days. I think there needs to be more good people with money in the world. Because like you were talking about, if that were to happen, in turn, that would create so much more giving, more opportunities for people to get helped, more opportunities for lives to be changed, more
Like Chris
visions
Crone.
to be built. Yeah, like Chris Crone, like he's doing a whole thing, he's building a legacy. Like if we were to set ourselves up and be self-sufficient with our finances, man, and if other people were to take on to that, it'd be crazy. It'd be a crazy different world. It really would.
Well, we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't think we just get there.
No.
Definitely have to learn.
But that is the goal. That is the goal.
That is the goal. And since we brought up my salon and we're in Lexland, Lexland, ladies, if you're listening to this, and I feel like majority of our audience is ladies, but rose water for your hair. You're welcome. Look it up. Now you just take some rosemary, boil it in some water. I've noticed people are doing like mint too in the water, and you just spray your roots and your, sorry, I keep hitting the microphone, but you spray your roots and your ends like once or twice a day, and it's supposed to be really good for hair growth. And if you have any, problems with hair follicles or anything, it should help that. So I'm on a journey with that, and I'll definitely let you guys know. But TikTok definitely shows a lot of stuff like that. Recommend. You're welcome.
She's been spraying it on my head randomly, so
I'm like, here, you need this.
Let's see what it does.
Yeah, but thank you guys for being in Lexland, and thank you for joining me and just sharing your wisdom and insight. And I really appreciate just what you have to say. Like, I seriously admire it. I look up to you so much, not just as a husband, but as a human being. You genuinely are an amazing person, and I'm really, really grateful for you.
Love you.
Love you too. Well, we are going to wrap it up. We're right there, but it's okay if we finish it a few minutes early. But thank you again for joining me in Lexland, Lex Conversation.
Thank you for taking us to Lexland.
Being able to talk. You were able to talk a lot. I'm very surprised.
That wasn't easy.
Really thankful. Those cough drops saved us. Yeah. But we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you can subscribe or rate us and share us with anybody that you know that would love to hear our podcast, we would absolutely love that, and just be able to connect with you guys. If you have any questions or want to reach out to us. This is a community for you, and we will see you guys next week. And remember,
stay self-sufficient.
Stay self-sufficient. And don't know if I've heard you say this in a while.
See things from a higher view.
There's a special place for you in heaven.
Oh, I haven't said that in a while. If you made it to this episode, there is a special place for you in heaven.
Took a lot for him to get that out.
Until then, see things from a higher view. We love you guys.
Love you guys.